Welcome to the Morning English Podcast. Listen, learn, and speak English daily.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Emma, and we are so happy that you are here with us today.
And I'm Mark. Yes, welcome everyone. It's wonderful to have you here with us today.
Go ahead and pull up a chair, get comfortable, and, just relax.
Yeah, grab some coffee.
Exactly. Think of us as your friends. You are in a completely safe, stress-free zone right now.
Definitely.
We are here to help you learn real, everyday English, but without the confusing grammar rules, without the pressure, and with absolutely zero judgment.
Right. We're just hanging out, having a nice conversation. Have a seat right here with us.
Yeah, we're so glad you're joining our deep dive today.
I actually had an experience yesterday that made me think about the pressure we put on ourselves.
Oh, really? What happened?
Well, I decided I was going to cook a brand new dish.
Okay, I love this already.
Yeah, I found this incredibly fancy recipe online, and I wanted every single detail to be just perfect.
Oh, the perfect recipe trap.
Exactly. But within 20 minutes, I was trying to chop vegetables, boil water, read the tiny instructions on my phone, and measure out spices all at the exact same time.
That sounds incredibly stressful.
It was. Smoke started coming from the pan, I dropped a spoon on the floor, and my brain just completely froze.
Oh, no.
I just stood there in the middle of a messy kitchen staring at a burning onion, and I was totally unable to do anything.
The classic kitchen disaster.
It really was.
But, your brain just experienced what psychologists call cognitive overload.
Cognitive overload.
Yeah. When you try to juggle too many complex tasks perfectly all at once, your mental processor basically crashes.
It just stops working.
Your brain says too much information, and it shuts down. And honestly, this is exactly the biological reality of how so many of you feel when you are trying to speak English.
Wow, that is the perfect connection.
Right.
So today, we're going to dive into how to stop translating in your head and just speak English naturally.
Yep.
We're going to look at the actual mechanisms in your brain and share some powerful, small daily habits that bypass that mental crash and build real confidence.
I'm so excited for this. But before we get into the mechanics of the brain, if you enjoyed this deep dive today, please take a second to like, subscribe, and share this conversation with one friend who is also learning English.
Yes, please do. Let's start with a question for you listening right now. Think about your own life.
Yeah, think about it.
When you try to speak English, does your mind suddenly go completely blank?
Let's unpack that blank mind feeling, because just like that kitchen disaster, it is not a sign that you are bad at English.
Right. It's not about intelligent.
Exactly. It is a sign of cognitive overload. When you open your mouth to speak, you are forcing your brain to search for the perfect vocabulary word, apply a complicated grammar rule, and manage the physical pronunciation of the word all in a fraction of a second.
The brain drops the spoon, so to speak. It freezes.
It completely freezes.
And the common advice is usually, study more grammar or memorize more words.
Which is the worst advice.
Right. Because doing more just adds more pots and pans to a kitchen that is already on fire.
I love that image.
The real solution is to reduce the cognitive load. You need to do less, but you need to do it out loud.
Out loud. That is the key. We call this the rule of 5 simple sentences.
5 simple sentences. Okay, explain that.
So the goal is incredibly small. Every single day, your objective is to speak just 5 simple sentences out loud. Sentences like, I am learning English, the sky is blue, or I am drinking coffee.
Wait, let me challenge that for a second.
Sure, go for it.
If I am an adult learner and I am walking around saying the sky is blue or I am drinking coffee, won't that just make me sound like a toddler?
It really feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. How does that actually build adult fluency?
I know, it feels completely counterintuitive. We think adult fluency means using big, complex words, but fluency is not about the size of your vocabulary.
What is it about then?
It is about connection speed. It is about how fast your brain can connect a thought to your physical vocal cords without a delay.
Oh, I see.
When you use tiny, simple sentences, you remove the heavy lifting of grammar and vocabulary. You are isolating just one skill, which is the physical act of speaking.
Because speaking a language is actually a physical motor skill.
Exactly.
Like, think about riding a bicycle. You can sit on your sofa and read a textbook about gravity and balance and pedal mechanics.
Right, you could study it for years.
You could possess all the brain knowledge in the world. But the moment you sit on the physical bike, you will fall over
You definitely will.
because your muscles haven't learned the movements.
And the mouth works the exact same way. You have physical muscles in your jaw, your tongue, and your throat that are accustomed to the shapes and sounds of your native language.
That makes so much sense.
So when you speak those 5 simple sentences out loud, even if you are completely alone in your room, you are building motor memory. Your brain learns through silent repetition, but your mouth only learns through physical movement.
Wow. So we are reducing the pressure by keeping the sentences basic, which allows the physical muscles to practice the English sounds.
Exactly.
But there is another trap here, isn't there? Even if a learner tries to speak simply, they often try to pull from a massive dictionary of complicated words they just studied.
Oh, yes, the heavy vocabulary trap. Many learners think that to sound smart, they need words like extraordinary or, magnificent.
Right, these huge words.
But when you actually analyze native English speakers in daily life, they rely heavily on a very small set of highly flexible words.
Really common ones.
Yes, words like get, go, take, have, and feel.
Because if you try to pull a massive word out of your memory during a conversation, it requires too much processing power.
The cognitive load spikes again.
The kitchen fills with smoke, and your mind goes blank. So instead of learning 50 difficult words a week, focus on 10 simple verbs or nouns.
Just 10.
But here is the secret. Write those 10 words down in a small notebook, and then physically speak them in those 5 daily sentences.
I love that. When you write them, you create a visual memory. When you speak them, you create a motor memory.
You hit it from both sides.
Doing this connects the word to multiple areas of your brain simultaneously. You are building the language step by step.
Step by step.
And step by step just means moving forward slowly, handling one small piece at a time, instead of rushing to do everything at once.
But, even if you have those 10 simple words written down, you can't just invent a language from thin air, right?
No, definitely not.
You can't output something if you haven't put anything in. Your output needs fuel, which means we have to look at your input.
Yes, listening and reading. These are your silent teachers. Think about the biological development of children.
Okay.
They do not start with output. They do not read grammar rules. They sit and absorb sound for years before they construct a proper sentence.
But this is where a lot of adult learners get incredibly discouraged.
How so?
Well, you turn on an English movie or a news channel, and the people are speaking so incredibly fast.
Oh, they speak so fast.
Yeah. It just sounds like a wall of noise. The brain can't separate the words. So how is that helpful?
It isn't helpful if it's too fast. You have to understand how the brain processes foreign audio.
Okay, tell me more.
Imagine an old radio. When you turn it on and it's not tuned to a station, you just hear static. Just random noise.
Right, just static.
When you listen to fast English, your brain is hearing static because it hasn't mapped the boundaries of the sounds. It doesn't know where one word ends and the next word begins.
So how do we tune the radio?
By listening to slow, clear English. And you don't need to do it for 2 hours, just 5 to 10 minutes a day.
That's it.
That's it. But it must be active listening. You cannot just have it playing in the background while you wash the dishes.
So no passive listening.
Right. You use a technique called listen, pause, repeat. You hear a short, slow sentence, you pause the audio, and you repeat it.
I like that.
You are actively tuning your brain's frequency to lock onto the rhythm of English. Ears are like muscles, you have to train them.
I see. It's about training the auditory cortex. At first, it's difficult, but as you do this daily, the brain starts to automatically separate the wall of noise into individual recognizable words.
Exactly.
And reading provides a very similar type of input, doesn't it?
It does, but again, we have to avoid the cognitive overload trap. Do not start by trying to read a massive 500-page novel.
Yeah, that is a recipe for a blank mind.
Absolutely. Start with a short story or even just a 5-line paragraph. And here is the crucial mechanism. You have to read it out loud.
Why out loud? If the goal is just input, couldn't I just read it silently?
You could, but when you read out loud, you are doing something magical for your brain. You are absorbing pre-assembled chunks of language.
Pre-assembled chunks.
Yeah. When you speak in real life, constructing a sentence from zero is really hard. But if you read natural English sentences out loud every day, your brain stores those exact patterns.
Oh, wow.
You aren't building a sentence from scratch anymore. You are pulling a ready-made sentence block off the shelf in your mind.
So reading out loud gives your brain templates. That drastically reduces the cognitive load when you have to speak later.
Exactly.
You don't have to think about grammar because the template is already grammatically correct.
You've got it. So we have simple sentences, simple words, active listening to tune the radio, and reading out loud for sentence templates.
Those are incredible tools.
They are, but we need to address the most frustrating part of this whole journey, the internal delay.
Ugh, the silence. When someone asks you a question in English, and there is that painful, awkward 5-second pause before you answer.
It feels like an eternity, doesn't it?
It really does.
That delay is caused by one specific thing, translation. You hear the English. You translate it into your native language.
Right.
You formulate your response in your native language. You translate that response back into English. And then finally, you push it to your mouth to speak.
It is an exhausting, multi-step process.
Very exhausting.
Why do our brains insist on doing this if it's so inefficient?
Because of neural pathways. Your native language is a massive paved highway in your brain. It is the easiest, safest route for a thought to travel.
Makes sense.
English is like a tiny, unpaved path in the jungle. Your brain naturally wants to take the easy highway, so it routes the thought through your native language first.
So to stop translating, we had to force the brain off the highway and make it walk through the jungle until that tiny path becomes a new dominant habit.
Yes.
A dominant habit is the automatic behavior your brain defaults to without you even trying. But how do you actually force that shift?
You start with tiny thoughts. Let's challenge everyone listening to do this right now. Look around the room you are sitting in.
Go ahead, look around.
Do not try to form a complex philosophy. Just describe physical reality.
Try saying it with us right now. Look at an object and name it. This is a window. My phone is black. I am sitting on a chair.
Perfect. When you do that, you are directly connecting a visual concept in the real world to an English word, completely skipping the native language highway.
You stay right in the jungle.
Exactly. Now, the first few days you try this, it will feel exhausting. Your brain will aggressively try to push you back to your native language because it is comfortable.
It really wants that highway.
It does.
Yeah.
But if you dedicate yourself to describing your environment in simple English, you will carve that new neural pathway.
But what if that still feels too fast? Speaking, even to yourself, happens in real time. The thoughts vanish as soon as you have them.
That is an excellent point. And that is where writing becomes your secret weapon. Writing is essentially speaking, but it slows down time.
I really like that framing. Writing slows down time.
It really does.
It gives you the space to organize the jungle path without a timer ticking down.
Yes. When you write, the social pressure disappears. The amygdala, which is your brain's alarm system, stays calm.
Okay, so how do we practice this?
A fantastic practice is to sit down every night before bed and write 3 to 5 incredibly simple sentences about your day. I woke up at 7. I ate a sandwich for lunch. I feel tired now.
So just documenting basic everyday reality?
Exactly. When you write those thoughts down, they become organized. And when your thoughts are organized on paper in English, you begin to think in English.
It creates a safe zone.
Yes, a safe zone where you can build confidence before you ever have to open your mouth in front of another human being.
Which actually brings us to the ultimate hurdle. We have built this comfortable, safe world of practicing in our rooms. We are speaking our 5 sentences, tuning our listening radio, and writing in our journals.
Yep, all the good solo habits.
But eventually you have to step out of the room and interact with the real world.
Oh, and that transition is terrifying for most learners. The fear of judgment kicks in, the fear of making a mistake in front of a native speaker.
Where does that intense fear come from? Because logically, we know a grammar mistake isn't physically dangerous.
No, it's not. But it comes down to basic human biology and social survival. Deep down in our evolutionary programming, being rejected by the tribe meant you might not survive.
Wow, that deep.
Yes. So when you are about to speak a foreign language and risk sounding foolish, your amygdala, that brain alarm system, triggers a literal fight or flight response.
So your body really panics.
Your heart rate goes up, your palms sweat, and your brain dumps adrenaline into your system. Your body is reacting as if a tiger is about to attack you.
Wow. So your brain drops the spoon again, but this time out of pure fear. How do we turn off the alarm system?
Well, you can't logic your way out of it. You can't just tell yourself, don't be afraid. You have to prove to your brain that there is no tiger.
How do you do that?
You do that through tiny, successful actions. Let's say someone asks you, how are you? Your alarm system might scream at you to freeze.
Right.
But if you force out just 3 simple words, I am fine, and the other person smiles and the interaction ends normally, you send a powerful signal back to your amygdala.
The signal says, we spoke, we made a mistake, and we did not die, we are safe.
Exactly. But you have to start incredibly small. Don't try to debate politics on your first try.
Definitely not.
Say hello to the cashier. Ask a simple question. Each tiny interaction lowers the sensitivity of your alarm system.
And, if you want to bridge the gap between practicing alone and talking to real people, there is a technique that acts like a simulator. It's called shadowing.
Oh, shadowing is brilliant because it temporarily removes the cognitive load of inventing the words yourself.
Explain how shadowing works for the listener.
Sure. Think about your favorite song. When you sing along, you don't just say the words flatly.
No, you naturally try to copy the singer's exact voice, rhythm, and emotion.
Exactly. Shadowing is doing that with spoken English. You take a video or audio clip, you play a sentence, pause it, and then repeat it out loud, trying to perfectly mimic the speaker.
So you are basically acting.
You are, because you don't have to think about what to say. The words are already provided. You can dedicate 100% of your brain's processing power to how you say it.
That makes a lot of sense.
You practice the physical motor skills, the rhythm and intonation, without the pressure of inventing the sentence. It builds tremendous confidence because you get used to hearing your own voice sound natural in English.
So we have all these tools to reduce cognitive load and build motor memory. But none of this matters without the final ingredient, the thing that actually causes the brain to rewire itself.
Consistency. You have to show up every day.
Yeah, I think a lot of learners fall into the weekend warrior trap.
Oh, the weekend warrior.
They feel guilty, they haven't practiced, so they sit down on a Sunday and force themselves to study English grammar for 3 exhausting hours. But then they don't look at it again until the next Sunday.
The brain does not learn a physical skill in 3-hour binges. There is a biological process called synaptic pruning.
Synaptic pruning, what is that?
Your brain is constantly evaluating what information is useful and what can be deleted to save energy. If you only use English once a week, your brain says, oh, we barely use this pathway, it's not important, let's let the jungle grow back over it.
But if you use English for just 10 minutes every single day, the brain receives a different signal. It says, we use this path every morning. We need to pave it. We need to make it a highway.
Yes. 10 minutes of daily practice speaking those 5 simple sentences out loud, doing a little active listening or writing a few thoughts is infinitely more powerful than a 3-hour marathon once a week.
It really is.
Language is not a hobby you do on the weekends. It is a daily habit you integrate into your life.
And as that pathway gets paved, something amazing happens. You stop waiting for confidence to arrive. A lot of people think confidence is something you must have before you speak. They think, once I'm completely confident, then I will open my mouth.
That is the biggest myth of all. Confidence is not the starting line, it is the finish line. Confidence does not magically appear while you are sitting in silence. Action creates confidence.
You take the action first, even your voice is shaking. You say the 3 words, the amygdala realizes there is no danger, the neural pathway gets a little stronger, and then the confidence appears.
Beautifully said. Action creates confidence. Well, we have unpacked some serious brain mechanics in this deep dive today. Let's use a quick recap of the core ideas we explored. First, reduce the cognitive load.
Stop juggling everything at once.
Right. Speak 5 simple sentences out loud every single day to build physical motor memory in your mouth.
Second, forget the massive dictionary. Focus on writing and using a few simple, everyday words. Keep the processing power low.
Third, tune the radio of your brain. Use active listening. Listen, pause, repeat, with slow English to separate the words. And read short paragraphs out loud to absorb pre-assembled sentence templates.
Fourth, stop taking the translation highway. Force your brain onto the English path by looking around your room and describing your physical reality in tiny thoughts. And use writing to slow down time and calm the pressure.
Finally, remember that your fear of speaking is just an evolutionary alarm system. The only way to turn it off is by taking small actions in the real world. Choose 10 minutes of consistency every day over 3 hours of perfection once a week.
Let's review a few of the useful expressions we explored today. We talked a lot about the blank mind.
Yes, the blank mind.
This isn't a lack of intelligence. It is a moment when your thoughts stop because your brain is experiencing cognitive overload like dropping the spoon in a chaotic kitchen.
We also use the phrase step by step. This means building your skills slowly, handling one small piece at a time instead of rushing to be perfect instantly.
And we discussed building a dominant habit that is the strongest, most automatic behavior your brain defaults to. We want to make thinking in simple English your new dominant habit.
Perfect. Now, we have a speaking challenge for you to do right now. Before you move on to your next task today, look around the room you're in.
Look around right now.
Find 3 objects and speak 3 simple English sentences out loud to describe them. Do not translate. Just look and speak.
And speak them with a loud, clear voice so your physical muscles get the practice.
We want to leave you with one final provocative thought to remember as you continue your journey. Perfect English that remains trapped silently in your head helps no one. So true.
But broken English, spoken out loud with courage, connects you to the world. A mistake spoken with confidence is always stronger than perfection that is never spoken at all.
Keep making those beautiful mistakes, everyone. It proves you are taking action. Practice just a little bit every day, step by step.
If you are ready to take action and train your brain today, go to the comments right now and type, "I will start today." It is a written promise to yourself. Thank you so much for sitting down and having this conversation with us. We are so proud of your dedication.
Keep tuning that radio, keep speaking out loud, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.